Sister MJ brings the truth so bright. Health and nature in every sound. Feel the rhythm, let's get unbound. From a higher we get our power. Every herb, every healing flower. Sister MJ shows the way. Naturally living every day. Naturally you, naturally free, naturally living as God meant to be. Breathe the air that's fresh and pure. Nature's bounty is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real in every word and every meal. From the mountains to the sea, every breath is harmony. Feel the beat and feel alive. With Sister MJ we thrive. Grains and fruits in every bite. Feel the energy, feel the light. Harmony in every part. Naturally you, with all your heart.
Shalom, shalom.
Breathe the air.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome, welcome. Shalom, shalom. We are back. And you know what? This is our last episode for this season. We rounding it up. So tonight we're just going to reflect on what we've learned in this last, since August. I think it was August of last year to now, or September of last year to now, I should say. And you know, we started off with our feet. How first we start out with who sent you, because you know there's some people that are here for different reasons. And then we also started off with the feet, because death begins in the feet. Now, I hope each and every one of you who's listening within the sound of the range of my voice can say you've learned something positively that has helped you. If it hasn't helped you, it has helped somebody else in your family. Shalom, Allison. Thank you. We've missed you as well. Yeah, we had 2 weeks off there, preparation for tabernacles. And tabernacles, as you all know, or some of you know, it's when in scripture we had a time where we dwelled in booths, and booths is like a tent or the home, you know. And we roughed it out there. We had a tent, and we cooked our food by fire or outdoors, you know. And it was a time to connect with each other, to laugh. Some of us laughed way into the night that some people didn't appreciate. And then we had some people up at the crack of dawn with hello, good morning, how are you? And it was just a joyous occasion. This year, to me, it was special because we met again in Georgia on the lake. Had some beautiful pictures. I should have put those up. Anyway, we had a great time. We were right there in the water. And from my cot in my tent, I could see the sun rising every morning. And as it rose, it just got more beautiful. I'm like, oh, how could it be that it could get more and more beautiful? But it did. We had people in tents, we had people in campers, and we had people in cabins. Now, I don't know if you here, you put in, if you're in the chat or if you were with what body, put what body you did your tabernacles with. And for those of you who didn't dwell with us, maybe you can look into it and see about next year if it's something you'd like to do. It's something that takes you out of your comfort zone, I would say. Would you agree, DJ Keys and Sister Esteline? Does it take you out of your comfort zone some? Because we're so used to what we have. We get complacent. We're used to what we know, what we do on the norm. And, you just can't go to your own bathroom. You have to go to a shared bathroom or a shared shower. So we want to just look back at tabs. To me, it's we return to where we were, return to the memory of what the Most High wanted for us to do, right? We have to return to our laws, statutes, and commandments. That is something we were told that we need to do, and not for some time, but forever, right? And then we restored it kind of restored us. At first we had to let go of city life or wherever we came from, and we had to get used to this new life with our new neighbors in their tents and everything else. And we also had to kind of return to it. It restored us because as time went on, we got up with the sunrise and fell asleep with the sunset, or some of us a little later. We had campfires, and then we started to feel rejuvenated because that fresh air and no chemtrails. You didn't have the connection to the Wi-Fi and the Apple Watch and your Wi-Fi in the house. Yeah, Shalom, Sister Nina. And DJ, yes, DJ Keys, I didn't want to leave. And let me tell you, you start to rewind and realize that those things that we get so accustomed to, we didn't really need. We started to relax. I came in Friday evening, Friday afternoon. I arrived, and the people with the tent weren't there yet, so I had to wait around. So I visited other people, my other sisters and brothers, and we just chatted here and there. Happy to see everyone. You do your hugs and all that, and then we just started to talk about what we wanted to get out of it. I know Sister Dawn and I, our goal was no complaining, no complaining. And we had T-shirts, and I put the fringes on hers with the border of blue, and she wore that. I wore mine on a later date. I didn't get to put my fringes on, but I will. But it was a great time where we just reflected on everything. What was the best part of it for you, DJ Keys? Shalom, Arapika. DJ Keys, this was her first tabernacle. She was uber excited, okay? She was like on steroids. And when she got there, she had a class. She had a class, and she was always also doing her DJing. So she had a lot going on. We had an app that we used for our activities and our campsite, and you had to register for what you wanted to do and all. I got the app on Saturday, so I was late already to the show. But DJ Keys had a fishing class, And it was for the children, but I registered because I wanted to renew my memory on how to go, what it takes to, and what you need to have for fishing. So I went to the class, and it was great. Uh, Dan and Michaela came and assisted us, and it was great getting their input and everything. And I learned so much. DJ Keys had her worms in her car, so they died. They dried up and died. But it's okay because Dan and also Michaela, they had worms, so it was great. But we had a Hebrew wedding that was so special. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And that was on Monday. The bride was beautiful in her white and royal blue. And everyone, I mean, the songs that were sang. Oh, and we had a concert. We also had a concert. I think the concert was Sunday night. And that was amazing because we had our choirs and both South Carolina choir, which is awesome, and our Georgia choir, which you all know is awesome as well. And we had some solos. For the first time, Sister Maria sang a solo, and I was like, "Wow, that was awesome!" And we had several of the solos. It lasted maybe 2 hours, perfect time. Shalom, Sister Dawn, shalom. And the food was great. We had the contest for the men grilling and the women grilling. And I have to admit, I got to give my shout out to Sister Jen. She won with her tomahawk, and I tell you, she entered last year as well, and this year her presentation is off the chain, but this year she overdid it. It was perfect, and it was uh, the presentation was beautiful. You know what? I need to get pictures of all this because next year I'll do that so you all can feel like you were there with us, okay? And yes, the bathrooms. We shared the bathrooms, the showers, and the bugs. We shared the bugs. This year, I don't know about y'all, but the ants, they were off the chain. The ants were off the chain. I mean, we had the 10th floor, we had 2 layers of padding, and they still came out from I don't know where. And would you know it, I forgot my diatomaceous earth, which is what we typically use. But Sister Artelia, bless her for sharing her spray. We sprayed, that helped greatly. However, it rained on Wednesday, so we had to spray again. Many of us had there was a tent. Oh, Sister Dawn, no issues with ants. Wonderful. I don't know what it was. Maybe we had too much food, too much sweet water. I don't know what it was, but we had ants. And I know some other people had ants as well. But like I said, it was a wonderful time. There were lots of events for the children. The children had a wonderful time. It was so great to hear them laughing out loud. And their events, they took things to their tent after. There was also a memory board that was done by Sister Carol. No, not Carol. Is it Carolyn? No, Sister Karen. She and her daughters did a memory board. Ah, there we go, Sister Maria. Yes. Uh oh no, DJ Keys, your bathroom tent fell on you. Oh, I don't want to laugh, but oh my gosh, that had to be something. trying to, but I'm glad you weren't hurt. Oh my goodness, I can only imagine what that was like. But overall, everything was great. We had a wonderful time. I again, big shout out, huge shout out for bishops, the both bishops that we had, and also the deacons, the officers, all of them, the ones that helped out, and the kitchen, the guys who did all the grilling. Oh my goodness, we had lamb, we had fish, we had chicken, we had goat. I mean, it was off the chain. And then we had one day where all the different tribes shared food from their particular tribes, and you got little taste cups of. We had, I know we did a fermented foods where you learn to ferment your vegetables. And we did a class on that. Brother Malcolm, our chiropractor from Atlanta, Dr. Malcolm, he had a presentation about our health overall. It was great. We also had asked the bishop, and that I heard was very good. I had the sewing class, so I wasn't able to attend, but everything went well. We had it was just a wonderful time. And you know what I like best about it? I find that we pivoted when we needed to very well this year. When we didn't have something, we pivoted and we made it happen. We had the one room, the pavilion, and then we got a tent, and that tent was super huge, and we had tables and chairs set up. I mean, we had food being brought from one section to the tables to set out. It was just great. And for those of you who didn't attend, please, 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 there are several holy days that the Most High requires us to be in attendance on, and that is Tabernacles is one, blowing of the trumpets is one, Passover is one. I believe those are the three. If I missed one, somebody please put it in the chat. Shalom, Melissa. Shalom, shalom to everyone else that who's not in the chat. Welcome. But overall, everything again was great. Now, as I said, this is the wind down for our season. And with us being outdoors and cooking and everything, oh, Amya, how was yours? Did you stay for the whole 8 days? Let us know. In the UK, was it cold? Because ours, I took a heater and I took clothes in case it got cold. I had my flannel pajamas, but we didn't need it. It was beautiful every night. And the last day was a little bit muggy, but other than that, it was awesome. So, Amnia, I wish you could call in and tell us about your experience. But was this your first time in going to tabernacles in the UK, or have you been many more times? And what are the traditions that you all do? I'll leave him to put that in the chat and you all can read it. It was cold. Oh, oh, okay. Sunny days. It was cold, but not that cold. It rained a bit. Okay. Got what we got as well. And most of you, I don't know if any of you all follow GOCC, but I saw where Elder was showing, visiting different tents and the food and all that. So I'm sure everybody had a wonderful time. But with that, I wanted to go and talk about what we've covered this year. We went and talked about reflexology, how important that is. And I'm hoping many of you have learned that reflexology needs to be an important part of your daily regimen. Why? Because if we moved our body, got it limber, massaged and moved places that we had tightness, acidity, blockage, we wouldn't have the issues that we have. We've realized over this year that when you go to the white coats, and when I say white coats, I mean the doctor. When you go to the white coats, they only ask you what's wrong and they go by symptoms. What we covered is learning about your body, the function of different organs, what it does, what the Most High gave it to us for, and what in nature can we use to help it work better or to support it, because we've all come from different walks of life. We didn't know the things that we know now. Therefore, we need to support it. We want to get away from the synthetic drugs that have a serpent on it. And since our bodies are living bodies, we want to give it living food to support it. As you know, the Most High gave us herb yielding, uh, herb yielding food, seeds, and grasses for us to heal our body and to use. And we really focused on that. And for those of you that didn't, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, Abeng Radio. And don't only just subscribe, but every show, hit the button, to like. And invite a friend. If you know somebody who can benefit, because we numbered each episode so that you can start maybe on a Sabbath after church, binge out, start on one and keep going. You may want to have a notepad with you to know where you want to go back and listen deeper. But that's something you can do because, again, we are here to help you understand the body more. We are here to give you things that you can reflect on and use to make your life better. We are getting to the point, to a time where we can be running to the white coats for remedies, for help, because they want to give us things that are against what we believe in, and it's toxic to our body. So, therefore, we want to make sure we are in line with what the Most High has put there for us. I was looking at a video this week, and I don't know if you all remember, and maybe I'm dating myself, but remember the Consumer Reports? Remember when you had subscriptions to magazines that came to your in your mailbox every month and you look forward to it? Well, I was a Consumer's Report geek. I looked forward to that magazine because it gave you all the new things for the year, especially the gadgets. I love gadgets. One thing I geek out on, I go to Home Depot and Lowe's and I just go down the aisles and see what's new. In the health food store, I do the same thing. I know, geek, it's okay. I do have a pocket protector I wear, and there's no shame in my game, okay? That's just my thing. So anyway, I was listening to this, Roman was the guy, and he was talking about a warning that was about spices. And I got to thinking about that as we came back from Tabernacles, because there was so much seasoning on the food. However, what I loved about ours, I was in the kitchen and there was so many fresh seasonings from Humble Homestead. I got me some thyme. There were fresh onions cut up. I mean, big old pan of it. And it was like, okay, we don't have to worry about the cadmium, the arsenic, and the lead that is in so many of the seasonings. I used to love to get, you have the one you like so well. And I got to the point where Slap Your Mama was the one I would go miles for that because they had ingredients that I knew, paprika, onion, garlic, uh, oregano, any of those things. There were words that we knew versus toxins where they have stuff in there for caking or for shelf preservation, those things. And then come to find out that a lot of these things in our cupboard or in our spice cabinet, wherever you keep them in your home, have a lot of health. It just deters your health. Cadmium accumulates in your kidneys and bones, potentially leads to kidney damage and osteoporosis. How many of you who have those issues ever thought that the spices in your cabinet could be an issue? Arsenic, it's associated with skin lesions, cancers. You have those age spots. You see, and a lot of people who are light skinned, you see all these age spots. You see skin cancers. There's things going on in the lungs or the bladder and immune dysfunctions of the immune system. Arsenic. And those are in the spices that we have on our shelves and in our home. And then we have the proverbial lead, which can cause anemia. And anemia is when you have a low blood, you know. Then we have reproductive issues with our female organs or male organs trying to reproduce. And we have irreversible damage to our organs. Now, those are long term consequences of those three toxins, okay, that we're exposed to. However, lead is especially harmful to the brain and our nervous system, particularly in children. So we need to be mindful of this, especially for our young children. We already have them elevated because they're not getting shot up with all the things that are out there. However, we need to take a look at what we're giving them in the seasonings in our foods. And then we also know that cognitive impairment and neurodegenerative conditions over time can be caused by the arsenic and the cadmium. I remember years ago, I used to eat flaxseed a lot. And the flaxseed in the US has cadmium in it, which is a carcinogen. However, I had to make sure I was getting it only from Canada because Canada was conscious of that and they made sure that was not available. So therefore, we also need to be mindful of that. If you take flaxseed, if you use flaxseed, I don't care if it's for, your hair products, still it's absorbed in our skin and our skin absorbs. Remember, if we have pores, we're tasting it. Everything you put on your skin, your body's tasting it internally. Then also, we have cellular damage from oxidative stress, metabolic disturbances, impaired lipid profiles, all of this from what we're getting on the outside. Okay? So we need to be mindful again of these things. Children, again, we mentioned the children and how it affects them. These contaminations in the spices, a lot of it comes from the soil, and then a lot of it comes from the manufacturing process done by the companies. And you'd be surprised Thyme and oregano were particularly high on the list of elevated heavy metals. Now, we love some oregano oil here because of the healing properties it has. But to know that those spices are contaminated, that gives you serious concern. At least for me, it does. These metals are often found. These metals, when I mean these metals, I'm talking about the carcinogens, right? They're found in contaminated water, soil, household items. A lot of the things you get from China have lead, arsenic, cadmium in it, tobacco smoke, and industrial areas. So if you are around these things, please be mindful of it. And when you get home, there's you can do the bath. A lot of men don't like to do baths, they like the showers, but with a bath you can put your boron, you can put your Epsom salt and baking soda, and that pulls those toxins out. And then we know that we can eat cilantro and parsley, and they pull those heavy metals out of your body. Now, I've started doing, and I don't know if any of you heard me when I mentioned it, for my salad, instead of using lettuce, I just cut up my cilantro and uh, my parsley, and I add my radishes, my red onions. I want to make sure I'm using as much of the stuff that protects me from the heavy metals. And then I put my craisins or my cranberries in there, and I have a nice salad. And again, I know it's pulling and doing what it needs to take these toxins and these contaminants out because they are in our spices. Now, we know that tap water has a lot of lead in it, and some people have lead pipes. There's also paint, they've removed that from old buildings. There's the paint, the chipping, and all that from the lead. But again, our soil has these contaminants as well. Now, the reason we need to be concerned about this because there are full analysis, 126 different products which range from national brands down to private label store brands, found about a third of all of those samples contain either concerning or even dangerous levels of contaminants. Okay? So there's McCormick, right? There's 365 from Whole Foods, or I call them Whole Paycheck. And then you also have the Badia on the Spanish aisle. There's so many. You have Kirkland brand when you go to Costco. Um, Great Value at Walmart. Great Value had poor uh, ratings, and I I stress to anyone who shops and gets their seasonings from Walmart, please change that. All these is a good alternative. All these had much better ratings on their spices and their seasonings than Walmart. Walmart was the worst. And then also, I was so surprised, but not surprised, because you have Whole Foods, and Amazon is now owned by Whole Foods, now owns Amazon, and a lot of people do their shopping there and get it delivered. But again, the manufacturing process, they had very low ratings. Very low ratings. So cumin, chili powder, oregano, basil, ginger, paprika, turmeric, and black pepper, those are the ones that had uh, issues. Yes, Sister Dawn, even the organic non-GMO at Walmart still had don't. And you know what was interesting? They said that, and they pointed it out, and I always say this, I don't care. Even if it says organic, it's marketing. You've got to know your farmer, know where you're getting it. And I like to go to DeKalb Farmers Market in Georgia, or you go to your farmer or your local farm stand. You get your fresh herbs. You take it home, wash it good, lay it out, let it dry, hang it to dry in a bunch, and then you take it, take the leaves off, and you blend it up. And then your stems, you can blend that up as well. And there you have your spices. Now, if you have a rub you're trying to put on a roast, or you're doing your wings and all that, get a bowl and mix all your seasonings, a little of thyme, a little of sage, a little bit of turmeric, whatever it is, your onion, your garlic powder. Mix that all up together and then create your own rub. At least you have a less chance of being tox, intoxicated with these herbal blends, because these spices are, again, are specifically not being tested by the FDA. They're not doing it. They should be, and some of them are, but most of them are not. There's some places that you can go to, trade, like Trader Joe's. Their spices, some of them they're much better. Again, the worst one was Walmart and Whole Foods, which is Amazon. Those were the worst. But if you can get them fresh and do your own, yes, it's prep work. It's prepping, it's meal prepping, but it's worth it. You're worth it. You are worth it. And there are forever chemicals that are in a lot of these things, and then they have the plastic therein. So, I mean, we can go on and on about this. And it's so sad that we have to do that. But if we're not aware of it, there are these chemicals in baby formulas, these chemicals in diapers, in our feminine products. It's in everything. And we need to sound the alarm. You all need to be aware of it. We have our young daughters just getting on their cycle for the first time. We need to make sure we are checking into the organic products that are available for them. Our babies, after they come off of the breast milk, get the best. You can go to EWG, which is Environmental Workers Group. And what they do, they will rate everything. There's several different categories, and they will rate it and rank the formula. They will rank the diapers. And another thing that's happening, this is hilarious, y'all. Kirkland brand coffee that you get at Costco. Guess who makes theirs? The non-label. Starbucks makes their coffee, and they put their name on it. And in the store, on the shelves, it's right next to each other. You'll see the Kirkland coffee, and you'll see Starbucks as well. Either way, you're getting Starbucks coffee. But I mean, it goes on and on. There's several items. The Huggies diapers, the Pampers. There's a new name, Cutie, of Pampers. Same brand. It's the same. It's just a non-label. And again, we need to check these things out. Moms, grandmas. And a lot of times people give you a lot of things for baby showers, or just because they have an overage of it. That doesn't mean it's good for you. Sometimes if you don't eat it, I used to be one of those that I said, oh, I don't eat it, but I'll give it to somebody. And then I thought, but wait a minute, I love them. Why am I giving it to them? I shouldn't be giving that to them. If I'm not going to do it, I don't need to give it to them. Doesn't that make sense? Because I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. So we need to be mindful of that. And the same thing with our children. In North Carolina, there was a big thing about lead poisoning in the homes in North Carolina. And I was surprised about that. You know, the housing market in North Carolina ain't cheap. And you would think that there would be, because it's not cheap, there would be more precautions taken. But I was surprised to find out that they had a lot of serious problems with warrants, that warrants at least serious consideration. That maybe you might be asking, what's happening here? You know, if I'm not going to, like, yes, Sister Dawn, if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to give it to no one. And you guys, I have come from process. I was the queen of processed food. Macaroni and cheese, hot dogs. Oh yeah, and I did my tuna casserole and I mean my lasagna I made from scratch. And my mac and cheese I made from scratch, but a lot of it is still processed. I used to buy the cheese that was already grated, wood pulp. Don't do that. You grate it yourself. It's better for you. I used to do all the processed aisles in the middle of the store. Now I go to the outside aisles because I go to the meat department or I go to the vegetables and the fruits. And I cook everything at home. Today I made my butternut squash. How did I make it? I peeled the butternut squash and took all the seeds out. I chopped it up in cubes. I put my butter, my grass-fed butter in the pan, and I cut up my shallots and I put that in there, let those, warm up and get a little brown. And then I added my butternut squash. I tossed it in the butter and the shallots, and then I put some salt, a little herbal seasoning, my coconut aminos, and I tossed that. When it was finished, I took my feta cheese out, I sprinkled that on it, and I had a wonderful meal. That simple, but it nourished me, it filled me up, and I made it from scratch. Not everyone has that kind of time to do it, but again, I would stay away from processed meats. I don't care if it's boar's head, it's organic, it's non-GMO. I don't care. Stay away from processed meats if you can. Stay away from the spices. If you can make your own blend, make your own blend. We have a family, what is it? The Good Baking Company, and they have their seasonings. Sis husband makes, and I bought several of them. When every time I see them, I didn't get some at Passover because I still have some from last time. But stock up on them. And he won for the men's side of the grilling. He won. And that man is a master on the grill. So if you have any issues with grilling, talk to him. He knows his seasonings and his spices, as well as how to grill. Now, yes, Sister Dawn, again, boar's head has phosphates in their deli meat. I don't know about you, MSG, I swell up. My fingers will swell, my face will swell, my eyes will swell. I just can't do it. And if you're feeling that, stop it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for us. Also, we know that the FDA is technically responsible for regulating both herbs and spices in America. What happens in practice is that the industry is pretty much self-regulated, and the testing that the FDA does focuses more on bacterial diseases like salmonella, rather than the forever chemicals or heavy metals. And here's what the director of food policy for the Consumer Reports, here's what he wrote. He said in his analysis, quote, currently about 24 spice companies from 11 countries are subject to import alerts for lead contaminants, which signal to regulators that they can detain those products, but that represents a fraction of the herbs and spices shipped to the US, in addition to the limited testing the FDA has done on spices, which is more focused on harmful bacteria, like I said, salmonella, and not the heavy metals. And we need to be aware of that. I purchased a titanium cutting board. Anytime I do my meats, because of the salmonella, I do it on glass or the titanium, because there's too much going on with this, with the cleaning of the wooden cutting boards or the plastic. So I just said, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just going to get a titanium cutting board, and it works great. You can wash that, spray it still, but you don't have to worry about anything going into the metal of the cutting board. These are things that we need to be more mindful of and start doing on a daily basis if we want to protect our family from having any kind of issues. I've never had food poisoning. I hear it's horrible and I don't want to get it. So if we start doing these practices, again, making your own spices, your own seasonings. I have, there's a website I love called vitacost.com, and I love getting my seasonings there. There's Gourmacio. It's sesame seeds and dulse and kelp. You know, I love my minerals in my seasonings. And I save every bottle, it's glass bottles. I save every one of my glass seasoning bottles. I strip off their label and I put my label on it, and then I put a big piece of tape over it so that if it gets wet, it doesn't melt, because I use those removable labels. So I put my oregano when I do it. I put my dulse. I put my kelp. I put my cardamom. I put my my basil, my thyme, my parsley. All of these, so I have it. And if I'm making a mix, I take it out and I blend it in a little small bowl, and that's what I use. And I want to urge you to do that. If you have some of those already in your cabinet, your spice rack. I If you got it from Walmart or from Whole Foods, I caution you to, if you want to keep it, because the numbers were pretty high for those two companies. McCormick is a great name we've known for years. I was surprised how much lead and cadmium was in their products. Again, just because it's organic doesn't mean they are they get a buy, they get a waiver. No, it doesn't mean that at all. Check your products. Go and check the company, see if there are any uh, class action lawsuits against them. Many of them are. You'll find, I think Great Value, Walmart has a class action lawsuit against the spices and also their meats. I would not suggest you buy any of your meats from Walmart. I don't care what. If you have to go farther to get your foods to shop, please do that. Their meats, they're known for taking their meat when it's gray. And if you go and buy your meat, say at Walmart, and the plastic is kind of, it's not flat on the container, that means it's already old. And what they do, they will come over, the meat may be graying in the middle, and they'll come over and put red meat over it and then repackage it. And because of what it's in and what the meat does, that plastic will eventually start bubbling up. So again, I'm just telling you what they do. Another thing that they do is with the meat, the deli meats. The deli meat, they can say it's organic or grass fed or whatever they use, uh, but that styrofoam they have it on is there's toxins there coming out of it because the the whatever they use in the chemicals to cure that meat and that packaging, they're not mixing. So would you please, if you buy in your deli meats, if you buy in your meats, please be mindful of that. And when you get home, please don't put it in the freezer in that. Take it out of that packaging and put it in another type of packaging, whatever you have to seal it in. Or I like to take it, season it, and then freeze it. So that makes it easier when you're ready to cook it. You're just taking it out, getting it at room temperature before you start cooking it. So again, I'm running out of time, the usual. But I want to stop and thank everyone for being part of our Natural Lights and Naturally You and spending every Thursday with me and our production team. We value you all. We hope you enjoy our content. And if you have certain things you want to hear about in particular, send me an email. I'll be more than happy to look into it. I really next season I want to talk about the eyes and iridology, what the eyes tell you, and we want to go in deeper on supporting the organs that are in distress, like our kidneys and our adrenals. We want to do a deeper dive in that to make sure you understand how that affects you. And just be mindful. Know that we were born into a war, and it's profits over people. We saw that in 2020. And the hospitals, yes, we have wonderful nurses out there who are doing their best, but that doesn't mean the system is doing their best for us. And what we take out, what we buy outside and bring into our home is our sacred space. So we need to make sure we have plants in there because the chemicals they put in on the cabinets, the chemicals in the flooring we have in the house, if it's not natural wood, and we stain it and all that, the cleaning chemicals we use, all of that's affecting us. Our skin is our largest organ. We must love the skin we are in. If you put perfumes on and lotions and soaps and they're not natural, your body is going to tell you. You will have breakouts, you will have cysts and tumors and things just come up. We have to be more mindful of it. We have to be more mindful of it. And a lot of you have animals. Look at what you give your animals to eat, how you treat them. Treat yourself that way. Give yourself the best. Put the best stuff on your skin. Put the best products on your hair. Put the best makeup on your face if you choose makeup. I use the best oil right here. I can't tell you enough about this oil. This morning, I made a mask for my skin, And it consists of castor oil and my Celtic sea salt. And my Celtic sea salt have a bigger granule, so I got my mortar and pestle and I broke it down nice and, small, and I mixed it together equal parts, and then I put that on my face. And I gave myself a nice little 20-minute, 30-minute just downtime to relax and refresh. So, yes, you are worth it. Your skin is everything. That's who you are. Just imagine if we didn't have our musculoskeletal system, we would just fall to the floor in a puddle. Just a puddle. Remember Rubber Man? What's he called, Rubber Man? Or a Gumby. He would stretch and pull and everything. Yes. Our musculoskeletal system puts us all together and makes our skin look nice. But the things we put on our skin on the outside, on the inside, makes us look even better. So use what's the best for you, right? And that, my darlings, is my wrap up. I hope that you all have been nourished. I love you all dearly. And for those of you that I was able to see and spend time at Tabernacles, know that I cherish that. This Tabernacles was tough on me emotionally, but that's neither here nor there. I felt the love from everyone, and I pray that you all got that from me as well. And I'm looking forward to next year because, we've got a kingdom that's waiting for us, and we've got to get in there. So we need to do what we need to do, follow the laws, statutes, and commandments in this wonderful book. Everything we need for life are in here. Everything. Whether we're sick, hurt, bruised, struggling, eating, what to wear, how to wear it, and modesty, all of that is in here. And that's what Naturally You is about. It's about taking what the Most High, our power, gave us and applying it daily to our life. We are not perfect, but with persistence, we are striving for a kingdom. And I don't know about you, but there was a song, I just hope my feet are clean enough to walk upon the golden streets of glory, streets of gold, mansions, everybody's serving you. We don't have that now, do we? At least not all of us. So there's a promise there that makes it worth it. And I just praise the Most High for each and every one of you, for our paths crossing and being able to share Him with you through health and wellness. That's what's naturally you. It's naturally Him, what He gave us. And I pray that you all are blessed. And with that, I bid you farewell. Much love, much peace, much joy, and happiness. When I say shalom, that means peace unto you, and I bid you well. Heart to heart. Thank you. Until next season, shalom.
Rise and shine to the morning light. Sister MJ brings the truth so bright. Health and nature in every sound. Feel the rhythm, let's get unbound. From on high, we get our power.
You all are welcome.
Every herb, every healing flower. Sister MJ shows the way. Naturally living every day. naturally you, naturally free, naturally living as God meant to be. Breathe the air that's fresh and pure. Nature's bounty is the cure. Sister MJ shows what's real in every word and every meal. From the mountains to the sea,